everyone. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker Training. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of fmtraining.tv. And you go to the fmtraining.com.tv website, not .com, .tv. This is a real website driven by the FileMaker Data API, PHP, other things. And down below, the 6 days of different shades of blue, those are real FileMaker records. We're not using WebDirect. This is a high volume, high-speed system, and it's showing you 6 records of data out of the FileMaker system that we have. Today is going to be on themes and styles for beginners. Nick promises that he'll keep it down to less than 3 hours. So for those of you who have a schedule, we will be getting down about 4:55 Pacific time at the end of the broadcast day, about 3 hours of broadcast today. So we should expect Nick to use all of that very effectively. And all the beginners who are learning about this should feel free to throw up and vomit on the floor at any time, just to relieve yourself of the pain and agony of what's about to happen. As you can tell, I'm a giant fan of themes and styles. I'm a fan of them as long as I don't have to work on them, other than very basic. So with that, I'm going to change gears here and talk to Nick about themes and styles. So
yes. So how long is the webinar today?
It's a 3 hour. Well, now you're down to 2 hours and 48 minutes. So yeah, you've got a ways to go.
Okay, cool. Now just to adjust the length of my. Okay, thank you everybody for joining today. So we didn't have the traditional listing of people joining today. So
no, I'm sorry. I didn't say that. Margaret. Yeah, Margaret, you want to tell us who's here? No, it's going to be a 1 hour. Yeah, about an hour, Nick. But I mean, if you really did themes and styles deeply, you could spend days in here just about. So
a month we can stay.
Yeah. So but since we all want to go home at night and sleep, show your screen. Let's learn something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's start it. Okay. So style and theme. Okay. So theme and style, or whatever. It's the egg of the chicken is the same thing. So so it's a wide topic. They didn't touch anything since 12 or no. They did a review on this on 14, FileMaker 14, but since FileMaker 14, there's nothing going on there. Just because all the people involved in this who were FileMaker left, and they have no idea what's going on there. So it's extremely complex behind the scene. I was involved when 12 came out. I built the solution that is building the themes. So themes they are built with using a FileMaker solution, okay, to create all the code and stuff like this. So it's a very complex machine behind, because pretty much you have a CSS, HTML editor building, in FileMaker, right? So pretty much. So themes, they're not, okay, they're complicated, but in the same time, they're not when you have some guidance, right? So first, let's define what's a theme, okay? So you have different themes here. So let me minimize this. So themes are there. You can click here in layout mode. You can click here and go to the theme, or you can go File, Manage, Theme, and you have themes here, okay? So here you have all the theme you're using. By default, they use this Apex Blue, they use the Apex Blue theme. This is the default theme, right? So this is the default theme. So when you have a theme like this, right, you can create buttons, right? So they look like this. Then you have fields. They look like this. And then you have all the objects, right, in FileMaker in your layout, tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. So you have all the objects in the layout. They have a look and feel with colors. Of course, you also have the parts themselves, the layout parts, they also have their own theme, the colors, right? Or the background, whatever you have, or a line separation or not. So this is part of the theme. So the theme is a collection of attributes that and that how your layout, your layout object will show. You have the colors, the fonts, the size of the fonts for each object. This is a text. This is a field. This is a tab, button. Of course, you have popovers, right? Popovers, right? You have like this. So popover, you have this object. Within, you have text here that will run here, the background, the font of the text, the position of the text, padding. You have all those things coming with the theme, right? So here, this is how it looks like when you use it, the tabs, buttons, popover, right? But you can change theme, right? So you can come here and say, okay, yeah, I want to use another one. I want my layout to look different than this one. So you have others. You have enlightenment. So when you change theme, this happens. So everything change, right? The size, the background, the buttons, the popover, this change, it change. All those things change. So you can change another theme and select luminous, for example. Boom. So you can put an image on the background, like here, they have an image. This is a dark theme, right? It's a dark theme. So you can have a sophisticated, vibrant. So you have different style, cool, warm. So this one was one of my favorite back in the day, but so they didn't. Those themes, they look a little bit old now, right? So, but they work well. They work well if you have a simple layout, and you can just apply a theme like this and stuff like that. And after that, okay, so that's the theme. So that's the definition of the theme. You can use as many things you want, and you can import theme from another file. Like, for example, I can go to that file here. I have a theme named Discord, because that was pretty much, I borrow all the look and feel of the Discord app, the colors, the backgrounds, the colors and the feel of the fields and stuff like this, right? So the accent colors and stuff like this. So you can copy this theme, go there, go File, Manage Themes, and paste it, right? So now this theme is available to you. So I can come here and change. I have a custom theme, select Discord, right? And press OK. Now I have this theme available to me, right? When you select a theme, though, so let's select a theme, a basic theme, a theme that is built-in FileMaker, right? Each object, each of them could be even the whole. Let's do this, right? So each object here, they have default look and feel. They have default attributes, not the default. When you create text, it comes default. Okay? And this is for each type of objects, you have a set of styles for each type of objects. Here, I have a text selected. It's a text. These are all the style available to me for a piece of text, right? So defaults is this. And then you have footer, header, see, change, leading subsummary, different 1, 2, additional navigation parts like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, right? Then you have accents, different accents, column head, navigation, title, so you have different style for text. But now let's say I'm going to a popover. So a popover is a button. So I have different style available to me for a button. And when I open the popover here, inside here, I have a popover. That a button, that a popover. See, change here, popover, button, popover, button, popover, right? So because a popover is composed by a button and a panel named popover, right? So popover is combined, you have two objects on the popover. You have the button, so you can change the style of the button here. And you have the panel of the popover called popover. You see here, it tells you which style you are in, which type of object you're in. I am here in a popover, so I can change the popover style. Here, I have a button style, right? So this is a popover. So the popover is combined with, there's two objects combined, a button and a panel named popover. So those two is the combination, is making the popover. But the popover itself is this object, right? This one, this. Then this is the button. So this is a single button. So of course I have the same style available to me. Also, I have the same for, so we saw the text. That is the same for labels, because labels are text, by the way, right? They are the same as a text. And you have the same for fields. So you have different style for fields, minimal, navigation edits, right? So, and then you have the same for the tabs, but tab, you have only one default. They didn't want to go into different tab or styles, right? For this theme, right? And you have the same for the poll, but here you have only one style. So what happened? So now I changed, let's say I'm changing my style here, right? I'm changing, I am no longer on the defaults. I am no longer on the defaults. I have a different style. I'm not on the default. I have a default. I have another one. I picked another one. A built-in style, but not the default. Okay. What happened if I change in the middle of the way? I'm changing the theme. This happened, right? So here and here, I have another theme with common style, So I have a theme, and I can get the name of the style are the same from one theme to another. So when I do that, when I change the style, right? If I change the theme, because the name of the style is the same, the object keeps the same, right? I mean, it keeps the same style based on the name. On this one, accent, I had the accent button free. It was looking like this. On Discord, I have a style named accent button free, but it looks like this, right? So what happened now if I use a theme that doesn't have the same names, right? Under, doesn't have the same names like this, right? Well, I go to the defaults. It goes straight to the default. No, I have the same here. I have an accent, something that I don't have the same names. Do I have the same name here? Yeah, this one. Okay, this one. I go straight to the defaults because there's no style with the same name. So when you switch from one theme to another, when you have the same name, it will match the same style. Even if the style looks different, it will match the same style name. So that allows you, right, to have different version of the same theme. To have the same theme with variations, but you have the same name on the style, or you have common styles between different themes. So that means you don't lose everything when you switch from one theme to another, right? So do we have any question about this?
We do, actually. Is having two themes for FMP12 bad for performance? Question mark.
Can you repeat?
Yeah, is having two themes working at the same time bad for performance?
Two themes working at the same time. We cannot have two themes on the same layout. Okay, you cannot. So each layout has one theme available. So if you select a theme for a layout, the theme for that layout. Okay. So this is the theme for that layout. You cannot have multiple themes on one layout. What you can do is having, another layout with another theme. Let's say I'm taking this one, right? So this, I have two layouts now. This one with that theme and this one with that theme, right? So when you want to know, so you can have multiple themes and each theme attached to one layout. One layout can only have one theme, but you can have multiple themes inside the same file. And if you go to the manage theme, you see what's going on. I have all those themes because each time you select a theme and you apply it to a layout, you pretty much suck in the code of that theme that is stored in the application. In FileMaker application, you have somewhere where they have all the codes, the basic code, the default code for each theme, and then you bring in inside the file. So now inside this file, I have all those themes. I have this one that I didn't have before, right? So you can have many themes, but you can also clean up. You can say, okay, I want to delete those because I have no layouts attached to that theme, so I can delete it. Boom. Because I have no layouts. So I delete them. I can delete them if I want. I don't have to keep them all inside the file if I don't use them. Like sometimes you do this and you say, okay, I want to see that one. Oh, yeah, I want to see that one. Oh, okay, I want to see that one, and you say, okay, I want to see that one, right? And you say, okay, I want to keep that one. But each time you did this, you go to theme, you have all the theme that you tried, they are there, right? So maybe you say, okay, I don't want to keep them in my file. I want to, delete them. You cannot delete a theme if it's used in a layout. For example, you know what I mean? If I have one layout used, this worm, right, is used in one layout, right? Is used in that layout, right? So unfortunately, we have no way to know which theme is using. You need to run the FileMaker developer reports, right? To know that. So, but you can go to the layout, right? You can choose another theme and then go to the theme. You need to save this. Go to the theme and just delete this one because I have no layout using that warm theme, so you can delete it. Now I have two layouts using Enlightenment. Those two layouts are using the same theme, so that's why I have only one here for two layouts. Do we have another question?
Just some kind of a comment. A good term for use is portable for themes when matching styles, but the names appear differently from one theme to another.
Yeah, it's so that when you use the same names from style from one theme to another, if you have an object, right, that use that style and you change the theme and the style name exists in the other theme, the new theme, then the style will be applied to the objects, the same style. If the style is not there, let's say you have a style A, right? And in other theme you don't have the style A, then the object will appear with its default style. Something else that I want to show you. You have smart styles. So what's smart style? The smart style are displayed like this. So you have smart style, okay? So that is something only FileMaker can do. We cannot build smart style. Only FileMaker do that, okay? The pre-built theme have smart style. If I create a text in the top navigation, it looks like this, right? I was in parts that name top navigation. It automatically got the style for navigation part text because I am in the navigation parts. If I add a new part, the header, and I do the same thing, I said I want the text here. Now it looks like this. Why? Because I am in the header text. I am in a header. So the text looks different. So we have smart text like this, smart style, but we have a very few. But I want to explain to you why those has dots and those doesn't. Those are not smart. I don't have a smart button. The button will look defaults, right? I don't have a smart fields. I don't have a smart field neither. I don't have smart. They're not with the dots. Text has, and I think that all. I don't remember if I have another object. Yeah, I think that all. That only. So, but I wanted to, or maybe shaped. No, neither. Just the text. Okay. So why we have this? Okay. It's because in FileMaker you have this new, you have this old and slash new layout report builder. So you can build a report, correct? And then this will build automatically a report for you, right? So next. So you can build, so you can say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, like this, for example, right? And so that's why they have this. They have this because you have this automatic report builder, right? And they needed a way to get this smaller, this bigger, right? So that's why they have those objects, smart object here with the dots, correct? So that it's not important to know, nobody's using this, but I mean, at one point you don't use this, but I want to explain why we have this. And you cannot, I think, can you delete the style? Yeah, you can. Okay, yeah, I thought you couldn't, but that's why you have the dots, okay?
So you can't copy a style A from theme A as a new style in theme B?
Yeah, the style, yes, you can. For example, demonstration. So that's what I want to show you. So I show you how you can move one style, one theme, which is it's a group of style, how to move one theme from one file to another. So now how I can move a style from one file to another, from one theme, from one file, to another theme to another file. Okay. Before we let's do something because I think we skip a step here. What a style! Because we didn't define. We defined the theme. Theme has style, right? So we got it. We got that. But what's a style? So to do this, I like to start with the basic. The minimalist, is the most basic theme that you can have in FileMaker. Pretty much you have nothing. Default, that's it. Okay? So if I draw a button, I have default, right? If I put a field, default. If I put a tab, default, right? So that's the most basic theme you can get in FileMaker. At the beginning, they were calling that classic, and that theme is the one closest to the default FileMaker prehistoric version of FileMaker 1.0 until 11. That's what we were getting back in the day. Okay, that's the closest from what we were getting back in the day. Okay, so I like to start with this because we have nothing. We have nothing. Okay. So let's say I want a button, right? I want to borrow a button from a style from another theme. Okay. So we can do that, but okay, I was skipping the step again. so let's okay. So now that I have this, I want to change the appearance of this object. Let's say I have a button. Okay. I have a button. I want to change the appearance of this. Then I go there, this tab here, the appearance, because I want to change the appearance. This is the style tab, and this is the appearance tab. Okay. So here I have all the attributes of my object, right? The graphics, for example, the background color, right? So it could be a gradient, right? If I want. So let's take something like this, can be a gradient, right? I can put an image if I want, or a solid color, back, right? Then I have the borders, right? So I can change the border of the, change the border. I can change the thickness of the border. I can change if it's dashed, dot, solid. I can change the corner radius, right? I can say, yeah, I want the corner radius only on this too, right? Right. So let's say I want this, right? Or let's say I want this. I want to make this. You can change the color of the fonts. You can change the size of the fonts. You can make bold. You can change the fonts. You can apply a shadow, right? Like this. So you have a shadow, right? So all of those things you change, you can make this like this, right? Then you have the padding. So you can say, I want more space here, and you have the padding on top, like this. And then you can choose. So you have all those attributes on a button, right? All the attributes on the button, right? And then you can choose an icon, right? The size, right? But now a button has components. So each object has different components, right? So it's composed to multiple objects. An object is not just an object. It's multiple components that makes an object. And the components are here. This is the component menu. A button has two components, the button and the icon. As you can see here, I have many things available, but if I go there, I have very few available. I have pretty much nothing available. I have the color, that's it, and the padding. If the icon were on the other side, I could play with the padding here. See the padding between that is this between the icon and the text, right? I can space the icon and the text. If I go to the component button, I have the padding of the full things or the whole thing, right? So you have the icon component and the button component. So two components. If I go to a field, I have only one component. If I go to text, I have only one component, right? The object that has the most components is the button bar, okay? A button bar is composed, you have the bar itself, the divider, the segment, and the icon. Then you have another object that has many components, is the portal. Portal has two. There's a portal and there's a row. So now you know that this menu is named the component menu, okay? Or the type or object type, but I don't like this terminology. They internally they call that components. I know because I built the software that, the application, the solution, the FileMaker solution that is making the theme. So they call that a component. Remember it as a component. I don't even care about if FileMaker doesn't want to, if you want to call it the object type, but it's not the type of object, it's the component. button bar is the object with the most components. You have the segment, the divider, the bar itself, and the icon. You have 4. This has 2. This has 2. Obviously, a bar, has the line. It's a line. Or a rectangle is a rectangle. So you don't have many. But here, you have many other components of the button, right? So now you understand why the components. You have a button is a great example. I can change the background of the color of the button, of the text, but for the icon, which is another component of the button, this is a different color, right? Okay. So what about the portal? I can change the portal attributes, like put a full color, right? Under the portal, right? I can change the color of the portal. So I don't even know if that will do anything. No, because if you want to change the color of a portal, right? So that's where it gets confusing. You need to go to the row and then you change the color. But the portal itself doesn't have a color, So this is where it gets confusing, right? But and it can get a little bit complex here, but I don't want to go. Just what you need to know is that on the portal, you have action on the line, the outer shadow if you want one, inner shadow if you want one, but that's it. If you want to change the color of of this, you need to go to the row. In the row, you have only action, right, on their background and on this, the line. So you can have a different line, here and here. See what I mean? So let me remove this. Oh yeah, the allow when scrolling. Right? So you see here how it works. You have the border for the row and you have the border for the objects. Correct? The border for the row, let's put it red, or red, right? And let's put the background, another color like this. Okay, so see? Okay, so this is how it works. You have different components and you have different action. What's available to you, the inspector shows you what's available to you. Okay. So now, what is a style? Right? I have this button here, right? And now I have another layout, right? And I want this button. I want to draw a button, right? But I want that button here. So yeah, but let me put the same style, the same minimalist. Okay. I have this button here, but I want this button, right? You understand? So I want this construction. I want this style. This is a style, right? This is a style. So here you see this, this icon here is red. Why is red? Because I came from the default and then I made a change. So the default here came for this object. I'm using defaults, but it has changed. And this is now it is red. So I do it again. This is default. I can have, I have nothing to do. But if I change the border, just I make a slight change, this is a modified default. And then, so like this, I came from the default button and I modified the button to get to look like this. So now I want to save this default modified, right? I want to save it to a new style. And I call it, what's it mean? Accent button 1. Now, this style is stored. I have it. So that means I can build another button and I can apply the style. Correct? Okay, so, and I can do that for all. So this default style here is modified. This polar, I modify the default. I can say save as new style, or polar, ugly portal 1 because it's ugly. I don't know if I have a H on ugly. No, I don't. So now I have this style. So that means I can go and build another portal here and go to the style and use that style. But now, let's say I'm going to that layout and I want to use my style, this one. I'm using the same theme. I'm in minimalist theme, minimalist. And this one is using minimalist. So why the hell I don't have the style here, right? Why? I made a modification of the theme, adding those two styles, this one and this one. But right now, these styles are available only in that layout. Even though I'm creating a new, let's say I'm creating a new layout with minimalist, I don't have the style. So why? It's because when you modify an object, you get this says, oh, you modify the default, you need to save it. But also, it means when I did that, I need to modify the theme. I modified the theme. The theme is modified. I made a change on the theme. I changed something. So I changed the style, and automatically it said, okay, modifying a style, modifying an object, that means you modify the theme itself. So you have two ways to do that. You can save to the current theme or save to a new theme, okay? Another theme. Let's say you don't want to modify the theme you are in, you just want to create a new theme. But let's say I'm going to save to the current theme. So what happened? Now, if I go there, I go here, now I can change and use that theme. Now I can use the portal, the ugly portal. I can do it. I have it. I have the theme, the style available, right? So do we have any questions about this?
Yes. What would be the correct way to put an image in the theme that works in the majority if it is enlarged or minimized? Regards.
The best way to use an image?
Yeah, to put an image in a theme. So how would you put an image into a theme?
depending where you want to put it, because you can put an image everywhere. So first of all, I need to see do I have image in this computer? I can use my Mercedes I had in 2006. I found that in the old hard drive I found here. So let's do this. Okay. So let's say you want an image on the background here. So you click here, you select the part, and then you go there. And on the part, you also can apply attributes, change the background, color, right? Let's revert default. Or you can put an image, right? So you select the image you want and you put it there. Boom. So the problem is of the image, right, is this. If your layout is big, that will be the default behavior. Is going to tile it, right? Is going to tile it. So let me put something like this. Is going to tile it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can select this and say you want to scale to fill, which is ugly because he's going to, you know, is going to pixelate it like this, right? Or you can say scale to fit, which is even worse because it's going to stretch the image. It's going to, you know, it's going to put the image on the center like this. Typically, image in the background, I never use that. Of course, if you have an image that, you know, like let's say a high definition image, like 80 megabytes image or 100 megabyte image, you put that on the background, that means you have to carry that. You need to load that, right? So be careful with the image. The image needs to be small. They need to be, you know, you cannot put a big image there, okay? Even though FileMaker, I think FileMaker do some reducing image stuff like this. They, you know, but anyway, the image, I never use that personally. You know, I don't. But the best way, there's no best way to put an image on the background. You can put an image on a button if you want. You know, you can do the same here. On the button, you have the image. So you can do like this. So you have your image on the button, which is cool. That I use sometime. Let's say you have a menu and you want to put, you know, let's say you have a menu. You say, okay, I want to select like storage, like office, like workshop. So you can have different image in the button of a storage of your storage of, you know, so you can take pictures of your premises, and depending on who is working on, you know, I did that on somebody, you know, to make when you want to get the what's the name, when you want to get a menu attractive, less boring, you can use that strategy. You put an image on the button, it looks good, right? I mean, in my opinion, you know. So you can do that, right? But what do you mean by the best way to put an image on the background? Can you explain?
Because I want it to work in a way so it worked the majority of the time if it was enlarged or minimized. So no matter where you like put it, small or like big.
Yeah, I don't. Typically, I will never use an image for. I can use an image sometime on the top navigation. I can do that, like to simulate what you can do, for example, on your Facebook page. You know, you have an image, you have your profile image, a photo, and then you have a background of your header. So that's, I can see the same benefits to get your image attractive, but you need to, because you cannot yeah, like this, but you can't, so like this, for example, you can use this. So you can have an image that can work like this. So you can use this to make a top navigation attractive, to identify where you are, for example, right? You know what I mean? So you can put an image that fits that describe what you do right now. You know what I mean? So, for example, sometime when I want to do something funny for people, I'm putting an image on invoicing. I'm putting an image of a pile of dollars. Like plenty of dollars bills. Or when you are on customers, or I have or when you are on travel expense, for example. Okay, I'm put a flying plane on top of the bar. Like cuts like this. To identify. So you can use that way. But typically I don't, other than on the background here, I don't put an image. It's way too much. Here, yes, here it makes sense. Or a button makes sense. A button look good. Of course, you cannot put an image that comes from a record. You know what I mean? It cannot be a record. You need to hard code, to place the image from the hard, select an image or a file and put there, right? So let's not stay there too much. So let's undo all this. Do we have another question, or are we good?
We do, actually. Let me scroll back up to find it. Is the color palette part of the theme? If so, how do you edit it?
Yes, it's part of the theme. So the color palette, we talk about this. See? So how this color palette works, by the way. So let's have this. Let's go there and delete those and put a new object default. So let's say I want to use the button because there's something I didn't talk about, right? It's you have the style and then you have the state. So here you have two menu, the components and the states. Okay. That's why FileMaker came with this idea of doing this. Let's say I have a color here. Let's say I want this red color or this blue color. I drag this color here in one of those available spaces. And in the middle, I have the color I choose in the middle. And then FileMaker automatically is going to build to me a darker and a lighter. Why? For all colors, 3 tones. The original I drag from here is in the middle. This is darker, this is lighter automatically. Why? Let's say I have this button. This button has different states. So what is a state? This is a state. When you hover, press, hover, press, hover, press, hover, press, hover, press, see? It change is hover, see? Hovering. You hover and you press. Hover, press, right? Hover, hover, see? When you hover, you have a different, see? Hover, press, hover, press, right? Same here. See? Here you can see more. This is selected, hover, hover, pressed. So hover is darker, selected is gray, hover is darker, and press is even darker. We have different states. So let's say here, I have a default button where I don't think I will have state. I have no states. See, no state whatsoever. So I want now to define states. So let's say here I have the different states. The normal, is when you do nothing. Then you have the hover states. So let's say in the normal, I want to get this color for the normal. And I want the text to be white in the normal. Then I have the hover and the pressed and the focus. So when you select a normal, automatically FileMaker will define the hover and the focus for you, but not the pressed. Okay? Don't ask me why. That was a choice. I have no idea why they did that. So what happened if I use, so let's use, I need to put an action here. Let's put a beep in the button. If I press, I have this. See? If I hover, I have none, because the hover color and the normal color are the same. So now, let's say I'm in a normal. Hover, I want to use this color. And press, I want to use this color. So now I have normal, hover, pressed, and in focus. That is the same as normal. So, see? So that is thanks to FileMaker that build these free, colors. So that's how you use that. This is why they did that. This is why when I drag a color from here to here, I have free. So now, if I save this, right, in the style, in the theme, right? If I save the theme, the color, this is part of the theme, right? But that's all the possibility of storing colors that I have. I don't have more than this. So use carefully the color. Like, for example, when I build this, right, I made sure that you guys get all the colors. Everything that I'm using here is there, okay? But if I want more, I have no possibility to put more. I have none, right? But this is part of the theme. So how I can get, so let's move on because the time is running. So let's say I have a button and I want to borrow a style from this theme, right, to this theme, to this file. So two files, two different themes. Here you have a button here in this here. This one, we talk about this one, not this one. So this copy the object style, and this paste the object style. Boom. But it doesn't mean I copy this style, I didn't copy the style. The style is not there. Oh, it is? Hold on. Did I copy? When you let's say I'm copying this. I think they modified this, yeah. No, it's not. Let's take this one. It's accent button 1, accent button 2. I copy this style, I paste it here. No, it's not. No, this is coming from another. So it's not pasting. I mean, I copied the style I copied the appearance. That's why sometimes FileMaker is not using the right terminology. I copied the appearance, but I didn't copy the style. This accent button 2 is not there. Is not, right? Only I copied what's the name? I didn't copy this. I don't even know if we can do that, by the way. Yeah, we can. So, but it doesn't copy. Yeah, but it doesn't copy the style. That's the problem. That means, okay. So if I copy this, and I paste it here, right? It doesn't. It copies the appearance, but that didn't copy the style. You understand what I mean? You understand? So you copy. So you can use the button here, copy paste here, copy paste, or you can go there. I want to copy this, and I want to paste it here, right? Boom. But you copy paste the appearance and you copy paste the object attached to this, right? See? But you do not, what's the name? You do not, you don't copy the style, right? You copy the appearance. So now, if I want to keep that style in that theme, I need to save as a new and name it. Like this one, I need to click here and say save as new style and name it. Right? So you understand what I mean? You can copy, you can borrow. I prefer to use that terminology. You can borrow the appearance and paste it here, but you didn't copy the style. It's not copied. You need to save it as a new style and name it. Understand that, right? Of course, you can rename when you do a mistake. This is how you do. You copy paste the appearance and then you have to save the style. You need to save this appearance as a style if you want to keep it, because sometimes you don't want to keep it. It's not mandatory. You don't have to have, for every single object you have, you don't need to store the style. The style is good if you want to store a basic button that you're going to use over and over and over and over. Yes, you want to have the style. If you need that button or you need that object all the time, you store the style. Otherwise, you don't need that. If for example, okay, for that layout, for that purpose, I need this to be that color, or and this, I want this to be like this. If you want, but you don't need that. It's only for one purpose. Okay, you can keep that way. You don't need to save the style, right? You save the style only when you have a repeating object that you need over and over and over. Something else that I want, but we're going to come back on this. I will do a whole session on theme and style and stuff, but deep, right? So now I want to show you how not to screw up your entire solution. Let's say I have these defaults, okay? And I have this object here, here, here. So this object, let's delete this. No, I can keep it. So these objects, I have it here, here, and here. Okay, here, here. I have this object here and here. Let's say I modify this object, right? Let's say I modify this object as a default. I save this object. I save this style. Okay. So now if I draw a button, the default will be like this. So I no longer have the default. Correct? And now I'm saving the theme with this new default. Boom. What happened? This. All the objects that were using that style throughout your entire solution changed to the gray that I had before into this. So now you understand how you can screw up your file big league very easily. Okay? When you save a style, you need to be careful. Like, and there's not even a warning. There's not even a warning that tells you you're going to screw up your file. Are you sure you want to do that? They don't even ask you this. You know, if I save this, boom, saved. I have no warning, right? And if I save this, boom, saved. I have no warning. And across all my solution, now I have green button all over the place. Right? So let's say now I'm using this accent here, right? And I have this button. It's not only for the default, it's for everywhere. Right? So let's say I'm changing this. Right? I'm changing this. I save the accent button one style. I save it with these new attributes, new appearance, and I save it the theme. Now, all my layout, boom, boom. So now, another thing that's going to scare the hell out of you, and it should, is this. Let's say I'm using the base, let's say I'm using the foundation of this button. The foundation is accent one, the default, I mean the base. And then I made custom changed like this, like this, like this, and like this. Okay. So I made change on this. Okay. Let's say, okay, let's revert. Let's say I changed this and this. I made two changes. So I start with this style and I made some change. Okay. I'm not saving anything, right? I'm not saving anything. So I have this change here. I go there and I made a change on the default on this accent button. I want this now. I changed this and I changed and I saved the theme. Now, all the custom, okay, everything, because this, I start with the accent button one. I made some changes, which was the font color and the border color. That stayed. That stayed. What I changed stayed. But the foundation, what was part of the foundation of the beginning of that button, that was at the beginning was orange, now it's purple. It changed across all, even if I made change on the, I have custom buttons, it changed. You understand? So if I change this again, you know, I put blue and I put gray, I made custom change, I go somewhere, I change this and I change this or whatever, I don't know what to change, you know, and I save and save the style. If I go there, boom, we have it. I did the change, but the blue. Okay, so be careful on what you do when you change a style. This is my advice before you go. When you do, yeah, but we need more time for that because it will take like 10 minutes to explain. So be careful on when you change those things, right? Because you can screw up. If I do, like for example, see this button, let's say I'm making a very ugly button here, right? I have this button here, and it was based on the accent button one at the beginning, but I made many changes here. If you save this and save this all across your solution now, this button will look like this, right? Be careful when you save styles. Be careful. That's it. So if you want to wrap up, or if you have a 1 or 2 questions before we go.
I don't see questions, so I'm going to take the chance to duck, not because this isn't very interesting, but because I have to have a meeting and I'll be murdered if I don't get there on time. So.
Yeah, me too. I have some stuff to do.
Thank you, Nick. Seriously, this has been awesome. There's a lot of people saying thank you very much. This has been really cool.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, I'm sending you this file to you.
Yes.
This file you have it. I'm going to give you the
updated
test,
version. You know. Okay.
Yeah, the demo I use in the, I'm sending it right now to you, so you have it. Boom.
Yep. Okay.
Done.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay,
all
guys.
right, everybody. We will see you tomorrow, and we'll see Nick again pretty soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
next month.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
next month. Bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!